on his hips, and Ralph Howe calling for time at first base. As Mickey Mantle steps into the batter's box, and Mantle can sympathize with Bob Cerv. He was hit on the right leg, a little higher up on the thigh, by a fastball off Pedro Ramos down in Washington, and it really bothered Mick. All right, Cerv's all right down at first base. Runners at first and third with one out here on the top of the first inning. No score in the ball game. On deck is the Moose, Bill Skowron. Mickey's batting .274, has 8 doubles, 5 triples, 20 homers, and 45 runs batted in. There's the stretch by Marshall. Look at the runner at first. The pitch to Mantle is a little bit low, ball 1. Infield back and double play depth. And the outfield real deep on Mickey. Colavito was way over in right center field. They're giving Mickey an awful lot of the right field line. Marcy again sets. Boyle leads off third. Cerv off first. The pitch is pop foul and going back out of play. One and one on Mick. Yankee dugout situated in the back of first base, and Detroit over here in back of third base. Mickey doesn't stand too deep in the box. Holds that bat right down on the end. 1-1 pitch, high outside, ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike on Mickey, 1 out. Runners at first and third, leading away. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit deep to left field, high. Maxwell going back in front of the wall. And it's a home run for Mantle as Maxwell went back slowly, thought he had a chance for it, leaned against the wall and watched it go back in the lower deck for a home run. A 3-run homer for Mickey Mantle. And the Yankees take a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. And as we told you earlier, Mickey was having a field day in batting practice, knocking them out of the park. For Mantle, his 21st home of the year in RBIs number 46, 47, and 48. The Moose batting .316 has 21 doubles, 1 triple, 13 homers, 56 runs batted in. Takes the fastball down the middle, strike 1 called. That's the second home run for Mantle against Detroit pitching this year. The other was off Pete Burnside. Strike 2, another fastball just above the knees. Wait a minute, Mantle had 2 against Frank Larry on June 21st, so that's home run number 4 against Detroit pitching. So Mickey's starting off in July the way he did in June. The fastball just misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Skowron. 1 out, nobody on now. The Yankees leading 3-0 here in the top of the first. On deck, Elston Howard. Marcy's pitch is a curve, strike 3 as Skowron went after a high curve ball, didn't get it. So Marcy records his second strikeout of the inning. And here's Elston Howard batting 6th in the lineup doing the catching tonight. Ellie batting .255, has 7 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, and 26 runs batted in. Casey Stengel has 9 right-hand hitters against the left-hander Don Marcy tonight. First pitch to Howard is a low ball 1. On deck, Gil McDougall. Marcy swings into the windup. Fastball pop foul back out of play. One and one on Howard, 2 out, nobody on. Marcy checks the sign from Lou Berberette. His pitch is a curve hit to straightaway center field. K-line moving back. and making the catch in deep center field for the third out. But the Yankees come up with 3 runs on 2 base hits. No Tiger errors and nobody left on base. The score at the end of 1/2 inning of play. The Yankees 3 in Detroit coming to bat.
Ever hear of a gasoline that doubles as a mechanic? In a way, Atlantic Imperial gasoline does just that. Here's how. When you drive, exhaust fumes and other air contaminants escape your air cleaner and collect in the carburetor in the form of deposits. Even a small amount of these deposits can cause an improper mixture of air and gasoline. When this happens, stalling, rough idling, and actual gasoline waste result. Now, one way to handle a dirty carburetor is to get right under the hood and clean it manually, but why go to all that trouble and expense when Atlantic Imperial does the job for you without even raising the hood? Atlantic Imperial actually cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. With a clean carburetor, you get proper mixture of gasoline and air. You'll enjoy smooth engine performance, greater gasoline economy. Give it a try. Use Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go.
On the mound for the New York Yankees, Art Ditmar. Ditmar has won 7 and lost 5, and he's 3-0 against the Tigers this year. Eddie Yost leading off for Detroit. Batting .250, has 11 doubles, 2 triples, 5 homers, and 19 runs batted in. On deck, Frank Bowling. Coaching at third, Billy Hitchcock. At first, Luke Appling. The first pitch to Yost is a fastball low inside, ball 1. Yankees have Shervin left, Mantle in center, Lopez in right. McDougal, Boyle, Richardson, and Skowron on the infield. Howard catching and Ditmar pitching. His pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. Yost has had 77 base on balls already this season. Ditmar's 2-0 pitch is right down the middle, strike 1 called. Eddie has appeared in 75 games. This is his 76th game, so he's averaging just a little better than a base on balls per game. Here's a 2-1 pitch. It's low outside, ball 3, 3-1. Eddie picks up a little dirt, looks down at Billy Hitchcock coaching at third. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Strike called. Full count on Yost. Eddie was taken all the way. Ditmar came in with a sidearm fastball. Full count on Yost. Ready now for the payoff pitch, Eddie. There it is. He takes it low outside, ball 4, and the walking man gets a base on balls. The lead off the bottom of the first inning, and here's Frank Bowling. Bowling batting .225, has 10 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, and 30 runs batted in. Skowron holding first against Yost. Ditmar stretches. Pitch to Bowling is a strike, the fastball just about belt high. On deck, Charlie Maxwell. Again, Ditmar sets. The pitch is low inside, ball 1, 1-1. Yankees 3, Detroit nothing. We're on the bottom of the first inning. Nobody out. Eddie Yost down at first base. Ditmar checks Yost. His pitch is low inside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Howard rubbing up the ball, walking out to the mound to talk with Ditmar. Joe Paparella gets a chance to dust off home plate. getting darker now. The lights will be a little more effective on high fly balls. Whitmire into a stretch position. The pitch is low ball 3-1. Whitmire pounding the ball in his glove, kicking around out on the rubber. Hart doesn't usually have control trouble. Eddie Yost leading off first base. The 3-1 pitch. Strike ball. Full count on Frank Bowling. 3-2. Yost looking over at Billy Hitchcock to see if he's got the hit and run on him. And once again, we're ready for another payoff pitch. This one to Frank Bowling. Yost is going. The pitch is fouled at the plate. Count holds at 3-2. Then Yost looks over at third base coach Billy Hitchcock. They'd like to get him running in the event of a ground ball keep out of the double play. Yost is going. The pitch is inside, ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Ditmar, and it brings up Charlie Maxwell with runners at first and second and nobody out. Casey Stengel standing on the steps of the Yankee dugout talking with Eddie Lopat, and Lopat's giving a sign down to the Yankee bullpen. And Johnny James is getting up. Oh, and James walks back to get another glove. Yes, it's Johnny James getting up in the Yankee bullpen. Casey taking no chances. Here's Charlie Maxwell batting just .210. The stretch, the pitch to Maxwell is a ground foul down the third base line, strike 1. Maxwell with 8 doubles, 4 triples, 13 homers, has 38 runs batted in. Left-hand hitter who has been murdered to Yankee pitching through the years. Yost is at second, Bowling at first with nobody out in the bottom of the first. The Yankees leading 3-0. On deck is Norm Cash. Here's a stretch by Ditmar. The pitch is hit high in the air to straightaway center. Yost is tagging up. Mantle under it, makes the catch. Yost is coming to third base. Bowling holds it first on Maxwell's high fly ball to fairly deep center field. So Eddie Yost moves over to third base after tagging up. Bowling remained at first. And with runners at first and third and 1 out, the batter will be Norm Cash, the left-hand hitting first baseman, who is batting .289 with 9 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers, and 23 runs batted in. Johnny James continues to loosen up in the Yankee bullpen. On deck is Al Kaline. Skowron holding first against Bowling. Yost leading off third base. The pitch to Cash. Low inside. Nice stop by Howard. Almost a wild pitch. As Ellie backhanded that ball on a short hop. Fine play by Howard. Kept the run from scoring. Ellie's catcher's glove is almost like a first baseman's glove. He's really got it broken in. The 1-0 pitch is a ground ball over Skowron's head, and Richardson up with a throw to first in time to get Cash. A beautiful play by Bobby Richardson on a high bouncing ball that went right over Skowron's head. Richardson went far to his left, fielded it, turned completely around. Skowron was able to get back to first base, and Bobby's throw retired Cash. Eddie Yost scored from third, and Bowling moved down to second base. That was a pretty play by Richardson, saving a base hit. A run scores, and it's now a 3-1 ball game with Al Kaline the batter. Kaline hitting .248, has 13 doubles, 1 triple, 9 homers, and 38 runs batted in. Ditmar's pitch is a strike on the inside corner. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Richardson fielded that ball on the edge of the outfield grass. Bobby gets that quick jump on any ball that's hit. 2 out. Bowling down at second base. Here's a stretch by Ditmar. Sidearm curve low outside. Ball 1-1-1. This has been a shaky first inning for both pitchers. Yankees coming up with 3 runs in the top of the first. 1-1 on K-line. Pitch is a little bit low. Ball 2, 2-1. Just missed below the knees. K-line had himself 2 base hits in the All-Star games, 1 in each game. The pitch is a ground ball. Boyer to his right, up with it. The long throw to first base in time to get K-line by a step. Boyer wasted no time getting rid of that ball. For Detroit in the bottom of the first inning, they come up with 1 run without the benefit of a base hit. No Yankee errors and 1 man left on base. And the score at the end of 1 full inning, the Yankees 3, Detroit 1. Take a look at the scoreboard. In the American League, Boston is at Kansas City tonight. They'll start later on. Baltimore at Chicago at the end of an inning and a half, 0-0. Pappas against Pierce. Cleveland's leading Washington 2-0 at the end of 5.5 innings. Ramos against Perry. In the National League, the Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Cardwell against Brolio. Cincinnati 2, the Pirates 0 at the end of 4.5. O'Toole against Friend. Los Angeles at San Francisco has not started. Milwaukee at Philadelphia. The Braves are leading 7-0 at the end of 5.5. Spahn against Green. Joe Adcock home in the 4th with the bases loaded. And now, before we start the top of the second, let's pause for station identification.
1460 on the radio dial. This is Quality Modern WOKO.
Top of the second inning, the Yankees will have the bottom third of their order coming up. Gil McDougall, Bobby Richardson, and Art Ditmar. Gil's batting .261, has 9 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, and 19 runs batted in. Tony Kubek and Roger Maris not starting tonight. Maris getting a rest with his injured left wrist, and Kubek out of the lineup because of the left-hand pitcher. Don Mossy, the left-hander, ready. His pitch to McDougall is a little bit low outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is line to right field. Colavito moving back, going back, and makes the catch on the running track in deep right field. And the fans give Rocky a hand. For some of you who might have tuned in a little late, Cletus Boyer leading off for the Yankees at an ordinary pop fly to right field, which Colavito lost. It was still quite light here, and it got above the lights. The ball landed just in back of Rocky. He never did see it, and it fell for a triple. The Yankees eventually scored 3 runs on Mantle's 3-run homer. Here's Bobby Richardson. Bobby takes the fastball. Letter high, strike 1 call. Richardson batting .256. 8 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 18 runs batted in. That triple for Boyer, by the way, kept his streak going. He has now hit in 7 consecutive ball games. The 1-strike pitch, low, ball 1, 1-1. Curveball popped in the air. Frank Bowling, the second baseman, moving under it. Right near second base, makes the catch. And that's 2 away. To bring up the Yankee pitcher, Art Ditmar, who is taking his time getting off the bench, selecting his bat. Ditmar is batting .219, has 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in. And one of those doubles he'll never forget. It was in a pinch hitting role against the same Detroit Tigers in New York. With 2 outs, Ditmar came through with a clutch double as a pinch hitter. 3-1, the Yankees lead. We're in the top of the second. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Ditmar is outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back on the screen. Strike 1, 1-1. Outfield playing Ditmar shallow. Straight away. Colavito very shallow in right field. A hard hit ball. He might throw Ditmar out at first on a single. Curve is high and gets away from Berberette. Back to the screen. Ball 2, 2-1. Actually, Rocky couldn't throw him out on a single, but on a ball hit over the infield, into right field on one hop, he's just in back at second base. The 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. Cletus Boyer on deck. Wind up by Marty. The 3-1 pitch is fouled back, strike 2, and Ditmar went after a high fastball that time. Full count on Ditmar. Here's the payoff pitch out. A high foul down the right field line. That's curving near the Yankee bullpen. And goes into the stands out of play with Colavito chasing it to the wall. Three balls, 2 strikes on Ditmar. It's 3-1, the Yankees lead. We're in the top of the second. 2 out, nobody on. Again, the 3-2 pitch. High, ball 4. Ditmar gets a base on balls. That's the first one given up by Mossy. Ditmar stops to pick up his jacket from the Yankee bat boy. Boyer got that gift triple in the top of the first inning. That was his first of the year. Two out. Cash not holding Ditmar on at first base. Pitch to Boyer. Strike on the outside corner. Again sets. Pitch is a curve swung at a missed, strike 2. Curve was a little high, and the crowd got a big boot out of Boyer going after it. Ready, the 2-strike pitch is a curve foul back in the upper deck. He goes to the rosin bags, got himself a new baseball. Ditmar is at first base with 2 away. Here's a 2-strike pitch. It's hit high in the air to short left field. Maxwell moving over, shading his eyes in foul territory, makes the catch for the 3rd out. And for the Yankees in the top of the second, no runs, no hits. No Detroit errors. 1 man left to score at the end of an inning and a half. The Yankees 3, Detroit 1.
Bonjour, monsieur. You are Atlantic dealer, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm an Atlantic dealer. May I help you?
My machine has lost, how do the Americans say, the thing.
Thing?
Oui, no more thing.
Oh, thing. Well, it could be your carburetor.
Le carburateur.
Yeah, probably a little dirty. We can fix that with Atlantic Imperial gasoline.
Très bien, monsieur. And Imperial, it makes many kilometers, oui?
I mean, sure. Lots of mileage. Atlantic Imperial actually cleans your carburetor as you drive. And a clean carburetor cuts gasoline waste. I'd like to try it?
Oui, remplissez-le, remplissez-le. Laissez passer! Laissez passer! Fix power, fix pick-up, that's a clean carburateur. Vive la différence! Vive Atlantic Imperial!
Leading off for Detroit here in the bottom of the second is Rocky Colavito. Rocky batting .255, has 10 doubles, 1 triple, 17 homers, and 43 runs batted in. And since June 1st, when he returned to the lineup with a .153 batting average, Rocky has been hitting .320. Got 13 home runs in his last 40 games. Rocky asking for a little time at the plate to do his limbering up exercises. Now he's ready. Points the bat out at Art Ditmar. First pitch to Colavito is outside, ball 1. On deck is Lou Berberet. Detroit scored in the bottom of the first without a base hit. Ditmar walked the first 2 men. Yost advanced on a long sacrifice fly and scored on a ground ball. Pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. The Yankees are leading here in the bottom of the second. Pitch is outside, ball 3, 3-0. Ditmar, not trying to give Colavito a fastball, has missed with 3 breaking pitches, a little bit low outside each time. Now the 3-0 pitch to Rocky. High, ball 4. He lost him on 4 pitches. That's the third base on balls given up by Ditmar. Brings up Lou Berberet, the catcher. Berberet batting just .183, has 2 doubles, 3 homers, and 15 runs batted in. On deck, Chico Fernandez. Nobody out. Starrin playing in back of Colavito at first base. Here's the stretch by Ditmar. Pitch is a ground ball right at Starrin. Moose steps on first, throws to second base, and boy, it tags Colavito sliding in. It's a double play as Berberet hits the first pitch to Starrin, who caught the ball and was just 1 step away from first base. He stepped on the bag, which meant that Boyer had to tag the runner coming down as he was no longer fourth. But the Yankees come up with a double play. Their 76th double play of the year. So quickly it's 2 out with nobody on, and here's Chico Fernandez, the shortstop, who is batting .260 with 7 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers, and 12 runs batted in. Chico has 7 stolen bases. He and Al Kaline lead the club in that department. Right-hand hitting shortstop. Swings and misses a fastball, strike 1. Ditmar into the windup. Side on fastball. Swung it and missed. Strike 2. The papers here in Detroit say that up to now, Fernandez has been the most valuable Tiger. They don't expect him to continue at this pace, although they'd like to see him do it. The 2-strike pitch. Curve outside and high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch is a curve in there. Strike 3 call. Chico took it with his bat on his shoulder. First strikeout for Ditmar, and for Detroit in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. Nobody left. The score at the end of 2 full innings. The Yankees 3, Detroit 1.
Remember, keep on the go with new Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Well, we're on the first leg of a vital one-week Western trip. From here we go to Cleveland for 3 night games. And then at long last back home, and what a homestand that should be. It opens next Friday night with the white hot, we might say, Chicago White Sox. Defending champions of the American League will be stadium visitors next Friday night, July 22nd. That'll be followed by a Ladies' Day game Saturday afternoon, the 23rd, and a big bargain bill doubleheader on Sunday, July 24th. Box and reserve seats are available for the Friday night game and for Saturday afternoon, but only reserve seats remain for the Sunday doubleheader on July 24th. On the scoreboard quickly, Boston and Kansas City, Monbouquet against Daly, Baltimore nothing, Chicago nothing at the end of an inning and a half, Pappas against Pierce, Cleveland 2, Washington nothing at the end of 6 and a half, Ramos against Perry. In the National League, Cardinals 3, Cubs nothing at the end of 2 and a half, Cardwell against Brolio, Sawatsky homered in the second. Cincinnati 2, the Pirates nothing at the end of 5, O'Toole against Friend. Los Angeles at San Francisco starts later on. And Milwaukee leading the Phillies 7-3 at the end of 6 and a half. Spahn against Green. Adcock had a bases loaded home in the 4th. Herrera had 1 in the 6th with 2 on for the Phillies. Hector Lopez, the batter. Hector takes the pitch inside, ball 1. Lopez struck out swinging in the first inning. The Yankees leading 3-1. On deck, Bob serves. Marcy's next pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It's a high curve, ball 2. Barrett now runs out to the mound to talk with Marcy. Two balls, 1 strike on Hector. Fastball is fouled, out of play. Off the light tower, coming back in the stands. Look out below. Oh, man. Fans have to watch it here. The roof is slanted on the top of Big Stadium, and quite a few foul balls that hit up there come down and land in the lower box seats. That one missed everybody. The 2-2 pitch. A high fly ball in back of first in foul territory. Norm Cash moving under it and makes a one-handed catch in foul territory for the first out. That'll bring up Bob Serve, who was hit in the left leg by a pitch ball in the first inning and came on to score ahead of Mantle's 3-run homer. One out, nobody on. Pitch to Serve is right down the middle. Strike 1 call. The 1-strike pitch, changeup hit there in front of the plate. Berberette up with it. Fires to Cash for the out. And Berberette almost tripped over Serve's bat. He kicked it about 3 feet, by the way, but still managed to stay on his feet and throw Serve out. From the catcher to the first baseman. 2 away, and here's Mickey Mantle. who hit a home run that just cleared the fence in left field, went into the lower deck, a high fly ball. He had the benefit of whatever wind is blowing. 2 out, the pitch to Mickey. It's popped in the air. Eddie Yost at third base, under it, in foul territory. Makes the catch for the third out. So the Yankees get down 1-2-3 for the first time in this ball game in the top of the third. Nothing across. The score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Yankees 3 and Detroit 1.
You know, unless you're an expert mechanic, you've probably never tried to clean the carburetor in your car. But actually, with new Atlantic Imperial gasoline, this is something that can be done easily by anyone who has a driver's license. You see, Atlantic Imperial is especially designed to clean your carburetor as you drive. Yes, with the very first tank full, new Atlantic Imperial starts to remove harmful deposits that normally form inside the carburetor. Accumulation of these deposits can cause loss of power, rough idling, and actual gasoline waste. Use new Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. Into the bottom of the third inning. 3-1, the Yankees are leading. Mickey Mantle hitting the 3-run homer in the top of the first. Phil?
For the Detroit Tigers, Don Marcy, the pitcher, will be leading off. The ninth man to face Art Ditmar. Marcy batting 143. The pitch is low, ball 1. Ditmar's next pitch is popped in the air to short left field. Boy is moving back, calling for it, backtracking under it, and makes the catch. Marcy pops out to the shortstop in short left field, 1 away. And that'll bring up Eddie Yost, who walked in the first inning and scored his 78th base on balls of the year. 44th run he scored this year, and he leads Detroit in that department. One out, nobody on. 3-1, Yankees leading, bottom of the third. Pitch to Yost is a ground ball, foul outside of third. That time Yost was not waiting out at base on balls. He swung at the first pitch. Ditmar goes to the Rosenberg. The one strike pitch is high, ball 1, 1-1. On deck, Frank Bowling. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Sidearm curve outside, ball 2, 2-1. Ditmar just missing the corners. He's walked 3 men so far. Here's the 2-1 pitch, high inside, ball 3, 3-1. Prior to this game, Ditmar had walked only 23 men in 96 and 1/3 innings. Little bit off the beam. Could be the 4-day layoff for the All-Star break. We'll see. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Strike called, another full count on Eddie Yost. He had a 3-2 count on him in the first inning and then worked his way on with a base on balls. Ditmar ready. And then Yost steps out of the box just as Ditmar starts his windup. Ready once again for the payoff pitch to Yost. A drive to deep left field, way back there. That ball is a home run. in the upper deck for Eddie Yost. Yost gets the first hit off Art Ditmar and makes it a long one, a home run in the upper deck in left field. His 6th home run of the year, his 20th run batted in, and it's now a 3-2 ball game. The Yankees leading. 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Frank Bowling, who walked in the 1st inning, the batter. On deck, Charlie Maxwell. Pitch to Bowling. Low outside, ball 1. The windup. The pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. Yankees scored 3 in the top of the 1st. Detroit 1 in the bottom of the 1st. They have 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2-0 pitch. Strike call. Boom on the count. Ditmar ready. Ball bunted at miss. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. McDougal was playing Bowling deep. And Frank attempting to lay down a bunt went after a bad pitch. It was low and away. Counts even at 2-2. One out, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch is a foul to the left of the plate. Holds it 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is lined to left center field, a base hit. Mantle digging over to his right. Up with it, and Bowling is on with a long single. Fast fielding by Mickey. Mantle held that ball to a single. Boy, Mickey really broke to his right after that one and backhanded the ball. And Bowling's on with a line single to left center field. On deck, Norm Cash. One away. 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd. Yankees leading. Allen holding first against Bowling. Here's the stretch. Pitch is swung and a missed. Strike 1. Maxwell went all the way around. Howard out to the mound talking with Art Ditmar. Only 325 down the right field line and doesn't cut out too quickly, where it's 370 in right center. Not too far for any type power hitter. Double deck stands all the way around Briggs Stadium. Stretch by Ditmar. Fastball inside, ball 1, 1-1. 340 down the left field line and 365 in left center. The dead center is 440 feet. The furthest part of the park here at Briggs Stadium. 1-1 on Maxwell. The stretch. The changeup is lined to right field. A base hit. It's Bowling around second base. He's going to try for third. Lopez up with it. Fires it into the infield. And Detroit has runners at first and third with 1 out. 3 consecutive base hits for Art Ditmar with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. A homer and 2 singles. And Detroit has the tying run at third base. The lead run at first base with Norm Cash the batter. Eddie Lopez giving the sign out to the bullpen. And Johnny James is up again. James was up in the 1st inning when Ditmar was a little wild. Cash bounced to second base. Bobby Richardson making a fine play to throw him out, but he got credit for an RBI. Left-hand hitting first baseman, one away. Infield and double play depth. Here's the stretch. The pitch is low, ball one. On deck, Al Kaline. Here's the stretch. Pitch is a ground ball. Richardson was left, bobbles the ball. Close to first, only in time to get Cash. The run scores. The game is tied. And that time, Bobby had a double play ball, but he tried to get rid of it a little too soon. He bobbled it, reached to pick it up, bobbled it again. Meanwhile, Bowling scored from third. Maxwell reached second. Cash was thrown out again by Richardson. And Cash has grounded twice to second base and has credit for 2 RBIs. It's a 3-3 ball game here in the bottom of the third. Maxwell is at second. Here's Al Kaline, who bounced to the shortstop in the first inning. Richardson was playing Cash perfectly that time, but just tried to hurry the ball a little too quickly. All right, here's the stretch. The pitch is outside, ball one. Boyer was breaking towards second base that time, and Ditmar pitched, leaving a big hole at shortstop, but the ball was away, and Kaline couldn't swing at it. He saw Boyer breaking to second base. On deck, Rocky Colavito. 2 out, 2 in. The stretch. Slow curve, high, ball 2, 2-0. The pitch is low, ball 3, 3-0. Ditmar a little upset out on the mound, checking around out of the dirt in front of the rubber. 3-0 on Kaline. He might be swinging. 2 out, 2 in. The score is tied 3-3 in the bottom of the third. Here's the stretch. He takes it high, ball 4, and he was ready to swing. And that's the 4th walk given up by Ditmar in the ball game. With runners at first and second and 2 out, here's Rocky Colavito, and here comes Casey Stengel. And with Casey coming out to the mound, we'll pause for station identification.
$1460 on the radio dial, Quality Modern, WOKO, Albany, New York. 9 minutes after 10.
Casey's still out on the mound talking with Ditmar. He has not made a sign as yet to the bullpen. And it looks like he's going to leave Art in there. James actually didn't have enough time to loosen up from the time Casey started him warming up. So Casey walks back to the Yankee dugout and keeping an eye on James as he's loosening up down in the bullpen. Rocky Colavito, who walked in the second inning, steps into the batter's box. Runners at first and second with 2 out. And the score tied 3-3 here in the bottom of the third. The stretch by Ditmar. The pitch to Colavito. Low, ball 1. On deck, Lou Berberette. Maxwell at second. Kaline at first. Colavito the batter. The stretch. The pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. He walked Rocky on 4 straight pitches in the second inning. So that's 6 straight balls that Ditmar has thrown to Colavito. Elton Howard walking around the side of home plate. Now they're set. Ditmar checks the sign from Howard. Runners lead off first and second. The stretch by Ditmar. The pitch is in there for a call. Strike 2-1. thought that pitch was a little low. But not Joe Paparella. Two balls, one strike on Colavito. Pitch is outside, ball 3. 3-1. Rocky looking down at Billy Hitchcock coaching his third. I'm sure they wouldn't have Colavito taking anything close to the plate with his power in this ballpark. Score is tied 3-3 in the bottom of the third. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. Whitmire into his set position. The pitch is hit deep. There's a home run deep to left center field. And way back in the upper deck. Colavito just hit a 3-1 pitch. Well over 400 feet to deep left center field in the upper deck. His 18th home run of the year gives him 3 more RBIs, which gives him 46 on the year. And Casey Stengel out to the mound, and that's all for Art Ditmar. Art definitely didn't have it tonight. He didn't have the control, and he didn't have the pitches to get by the Detroit Sluggers. So Art pitched a total of 2 2/3 innings, in which he allowed 4 base hits. He walked 4, struck out 1, allowed 5 runs. So Ditmar leaves, and Detroit now leads in the game, 6-3. They have scored 5 runs here in the bottom of the third. 2 home runs in this inning. Eddie Yost, a solo homer, and Rocky Colavito, a 3-run homer. Johnny James coming on for New York, making his 25th appearance of the year. Johnny's won 5 and lost 1. Pitched a total of 35 innings. Has given up 27 hits. 15 runs, 3 homers, with an earned run average of 3.60. And this is about the earliest that Johnny James has been in a ball game all year. He's usually one of the late inning relief pitchers for the Yankees. All right, Johnny completes his warm-up tosses. Lou Berberette, who bounced into a double play in the second inning, will be the batter. 2 men are out. 5 big runs scored here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Berberette is high, ball 1. Johnny James, 5'10" and 160 pounds. Last relieved on July 10th at Boston. The 1-0 pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Colavito has always had real good luck against Art Ditmar. Save is fouled back off the screen in back of home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colavito had 4 homers off Ditmar in 1959. Colavito has had 2 homers off Ditmar this year, so that's 6 in 2 years. You can see he's had good luck against Art. The curve is high. Ball 2, 2-2. Casey had a hunch, but it looked like he waited one batter too long that time. The 2-2 pitch is just outside, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. Full count, ready for the payoff pitch to Berberet. Inside, ball 4. He lost him. Johnny James walks the first man he faces, and it brings up the 9th man of the inning for Detroit, Chico Fernandez. Fernandez struck out to end the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2 men are out. Allen holding first against Berberet. Here's the stretch. The curve is low, ball 1. Casey is standing on the steps of the Yankee dugout. Here's the stretch. Pitch is in there for a called strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curve on the inside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fernandez walks back to talk with Joe Paparella. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the stretch. The curve is low, ball 2, 2-2. James goes back to the rosin bag. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Berberet with a short lead off third. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A line to the left field that's in there for base hit. And it gets by third. Here comes Berberet. They're sending him around third. They're waving him in. His boy is relayed to the plate. And Berberet flies. He's safe at the plate. A beautiful fadeaway slide by Lou Berberet. And he scores on a long double by Chico Fernandez. Cletus Boyer throw was a little wide at the plate. Howard had to go to his left to get it and then dive back, but Berberet hook slid towards the inside part of home plate, and his foot just touched the plate before Howard touched him with the ball. A long double to left field by Chico Fernandez, and Detroit now leads 7-3. Berberet scored all the way from first base. That run is charged to Art Ditmar. No, it's not. Check that. It's charged to Johnny James. Ditmar was out of there. 5 runs charged to Ditmar. Tigers are leading 7-3. 6 of those runs are charged to Ditmar. 1 to James. The pitch to Marcy, who led off the inning by popping out to the shortstop, is low inside, ball 1. Fernandez got his 8th double of the year and his 13th run batted in. It was just inside the foul line, and Serge tried a backhand as it kicked off his glove, rolled to the wall. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. Fernandez moves to third base on the throw into the plate. Howard rubbing up the ball, throwing it back out to James. Detroit has come up with 6 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the windup by Johnny. Pitch is low, ball 3, 3-0. On deck is Eddie Yost. jumping on Don Mossy. And Lopat is up again in the Yankee dugout telling somebody to get loosened up. Here's a 3-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. Johnny Gabler, right-hander, up in the Yankee bullpen. 3-1 on Mossy. 2 out. Chico Fernandez at third base. James into the windup. Pitch is ball 4. He lost him. That's the second walk given up by Johnny James. And it brings up Eddie Yost, who homered in this third inning. Eddie also has walked. He's driven in 1 run and scored twice in the ball game. Yost is the 11th man to bat in the inning. Mossy at first, Fernandez at third with 2 away. The pitch to Eddie is a curve over, strike 1 call. 7-3 Detroit leads. The curve is hit high in the air to left field. Curve moving back to his left. He's got room for this one and makes the catch fully out. So for Detroit, in the bottom of the third inning, 6 big runs on 5 base hits. No Yankee errors. 2 men left. The score at the end of 3 full innings, Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3. And now listen to the hand Rocky Colavito gets as he goes out to right field. They were booing Rocky in the first inning when he lost a high fly ball in the semi-darkness here at Bridge Stadium. But now the Rock gets a big hand and he taps his cap. Take a look at the scoreboard in the American League of the other games. Boston leading Kansas City 2-0 as they're playing the bottom of the first inning. Monboquet for the Red Sox, Bailey for Kansas City. Baltimore leading Chicago 2-1 at the end of 3.5. Poppers against Pierce. Jackie Brandt and Brooks Robinson homered in the third inning for Baltimore with nobody on. Cleveland leads Washington 4-0 at the end of 8 innings. Perry pitching for Cleveland. Ramos started. Lee came on in the 8th. In the National League, it's the Cardinals 3, the Cubs 0 at the end of 4. Cardwell against Brolio. Sawatsky homered in the second. Cincinnati 2, Pittsburgh 0 at the end of 7. O'Toole against Friend. Milwaukee leading the Phillies 7-4, playing the bottom of the 9th. Spahn against Green. Adcock homered in the 4th with the bases loaded. Herrera has had 2 homers, 1 in the 6th with 2 on, and 1 in the bottom of the 9th. They're still playing that bottom of the 9th. And here at Bridge Stadium in Detroit, Michigan, Detroit leading 7-3 in the top of the 4th. Bill Skowron, who struck out in the first inning, leads off.
Please report to the office under the sign. Section 15, lower left.
Rocky Colavito had to go back and retrieve something that a youngster had dropped over the fence. Now we're ready to go. Don Mossy on the mound. First pitch to the Moose is a foul back, strike 1. The 1-strike pitch is a little bit low, ball 1-1. On deck is Elston Howard. Yogi Berra and Roger Maris sitting on the bench. The 1-1 pitch is a curve hit high in the air to center field. Al Kaline is moving under this one. Pounds his glove twice and makes the catch. That's 1 away. Brings up Elston Howard, who flied to Kaline in center field in the first inning. Mossy's first pitch to Howard is inside, ball 1. Paparella playfully kicks Lou Berberette. Lou was arguing mildly on that pitch. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is a little bit low, ball 2-1. Berberette again turns around to talk with Paparella. 2-1 on Howard. 1 out, nobody on. Pitch is popped in the air to the infield. Chico Fernandez, the shortstop, calling for it. Moving under it, and then back to make the catch. As the wind got a hold of that one. Howard pops out to the shortstop. 2 out. Here's Gil McDougall, who lined out to right field. Detroit leads, top of the 4th. Yankees play here again tomorrow afternoon and a big doubleheader on Sunday. Pitch to Gill is on the inside corner, strike 1 call. McDougall bluffed the bunt that time. Casey jumped off the bench that time and yells at Paparella that the pitch was outside, and Paparella just waves back at Casey to sit down. Actually, Casey cannot come out to debate or argue on a called strike or ball. If he were to jump out of that dugout and argue, he would be automatically out of the game. The 1-strike pitch is popped in the air to the infield. Frank Bowling, the second baseman, calling for this one. Under it, and makes the catch for the out. For the Yankees in the top of the 4th, they go down 1-2-3 for the second time in a row. Nothing across the score at the end of 3.5 innings. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3.
Say, where do you plan to go on your vacation? Some people I know like to head for historic places, while others are partial to the mountains, and still others enjoy the seashore. Well, we just came back from a little trip up to the lake, up Hatch Lake near Eaton, New York, and really enjoyed it. Well, whatever your favorite might be, chances are you'll be making the trip in the family car, and you'll want to be sure your car is in good condition. Well, the best way I know of is to have your Atlantic dealer give your car a thorough safety service lubrication. Now, this means a complete lubrication. Complete because he follows the specifications set down by the car's manufacturer. And in addition, your Atlantic dealer checks vital safety areas such as tires, battery, cooling system, the muffler, and tailpipe. In short, he makes sure your car is ready for any trip. So, before you head for a vacation, weekend, or even a day's trip, see your Atlantic dealer for a safety service lubrication to keep your car on the go.
In the bottom of the 4th inning, Frank Bowling, who singled to left center field and walked, will lead off. Johnny James is out on the mound for New York. Art Ditmar started. The pitch to
WOKO, Albany.
on deck is Charlie Maxwell. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Changeup almost hit Bowling. Ball 1-1. Here's the windup. 1-1 pitch is over, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. At the end of that half inning, Joe Paparella walked over to the Yankee bench and talked to Casey Stengel. The pitch is a curve in the dirt, bounces off Howard's shoulder and hits in front of the plate. 2-2. Bowling wants to look at that ball. Howard picked it up and fired it back to the pitcher. Joe Paparella looks at it and says nothing wrong with it, keeps it in play. Two and two to count. The 2-2 pitch, high ball 3 and 2. Art Ditmar walked 4 men in 2 and 2/3 innings. Johnny James has walked 2 men. The payoff pitch, outside, ball 4. Third walk given up by James. Here's Charlie Maxwell, who fly to center and single to right. On deck is Norm Cash. Left hand hitting Charlie Maxwell. Takes a curve over, strike one call. James took a little bit off that pitch. Scowen is holding first against Bowling. Gabler is up in the Yankee bullpen again. Here's the stretch. Curve is over, strike 2. Nothing in 2. Nothing in 2 to count. James checking the runner leading off first. Pitch inside, ball 1. Oh, Luke Appling coaching at first base. Billy Hitchcock's over at third. Slow curve, strike 3, swings and misses. As James pulled the string on the curveball, and Maxwell went all the way around. Johnny's first strikeout. That brings up Norm Cash, who twice has bounced to second, but on each ground ball has driven in a run. 0 for 2. Bowling at first, 1 away. 7-3, Detroit leads there in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch is strike 1, he swings and misses. Bowling leading off first base. Slow curve, line, right center field, a base hit. Bowling around second, then holds up. Lopez's throw is cut off by Cletus Boyer. A line single by Norm Cash. Second hit off James. And that brings up Al Kaline, who bounced to short and walked. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Johnny James stretches. The pitch to Kaline is fouled, and back at first base, strike 1. That time Scowen was cutting back at the runner at first base when Johnny James delivered the pitch. Time is called. The ball got away from Johnny Blanchard warming up Johnny Gabler down in the bullpen. Rolled onto the playing field. 1 strike on Kaline. Al hit that right off the end of his bat. Here's the stretch. Curve, low, ball 1, 1-1. at first, bowling down at second base. Here's the stretch. Foul back on the screen, strike two. Line chokes up in the bat just a little bit. Here's the stretch. Curve out. No, it's strike three. Caparella waited just a fraction of a second longer than he usually does to call that pitch. Strike three called, and here's Rocky Colavito. Rocky walked in the second inning, hit a 3-run homer in the upper deck and left center field in the third to drive in 3 runs. Detroit leads 7-3. 2 out, 2 on. Here's a stretch by James. Curve swung and a missed, strike one. Rocky way out in front. Colavito takes plenty of time getting set in the box. Points the bat out at the pitcher. Now the stretch. Change up in the dirt, knocked down by Howard. Another nice play by Ellie. He saved 2 or 3 from going back to the screen, saving the pitcher possible wild pitches. 1-1 on Rock. Frank Bowling leads off second. Norm Cash off first. Stretch by James. Curve swung it and missed, strike two. Rocky, a little over anxious, was way out in front of that curveball. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 men out. Sidearm curve is high. 2-2. Can't make a mistake with his Colavito. Ready now for the 2-2 pitch. Curve, foul tip back on the screen. James doesn't want to give him a fastball. On deck is Lou Berberet. All right, here's the stretch. Fastball high outside, ball 3. 3-2. And now it's a full count on Colavito. And with 3-2 on the batter and 2 out, Bowling at second and Cash at first will be off with a pitch. Full count on Rocky. Ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is. It's low, ball 4. Colavito walks again. That's the 4th walk given up by James. The 8th walk given up by Yankee pitchers tonight. And the bases are loaded. Colavito at first, Cash at second, Bowling at third, and here's Lou Berberet, the catcher, who hit into a double play and walked. Berberet scored all the way from first on a long double by Fernandez in the 3rd inning. That's the fastest we ever saw Berberet run. Infield playing back, outfield playing deep. James pitching with his full windup. There it is. It's low inside, ball 1. Johnny Gabler loosening up in the Yankee bullpen. Casey Stengel standing up on the steps of the Yankee dugout, looking a little worried. Here's the windup. Pitch is over for a call strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a ground ball at second base. Richardson's up with it. Goes to Skowron to retire Babe Ruth. Lou hit the ball right on the nose. And for Detroit, in the bottom of the fourth inning, no runs. On one base hit, no Yankee errors, 3 men left. The score at the end of fourth innings, Detroit 7, the Yankees 3. We pause for station identification.
1460 on the radio dial. This is Quality Modern Radio in Albany, WOKO. 19 minutes before 11.
In the National League, Cardinals 3, Cubs nothing at the end of 5.5. Cincinnati 4, the Pirates 1 at the end of 8. The Braves defeated the Phillies 7-5, and Los Angeles at San Francisco has not started. Bobby Richardson, who popped to the second baseman in the second inning, leads off for the Yankees here in the top of the fifth with Detroit leading 7-3. Don Mossy out on the mound. His pitch to Richardson is high, ball 1. Mossy had a shaky first inning, but he certainly settled down after that. The only man to get on base after Mantle's homer was a walk to Ditmar in the second inning. Pitch to Richardson, strike called, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is lined to center field, a base hit for Bobby. He lines up with it. Richardson really butcher-boyed that overhand curveball. Chopped right down on it, line to single to center. Hit number 3 off Mossy. And Tony Kubek is coming up to bat for Johnny James. So it looks like Johnny Gabler will be coming on.
Draw attention, please. Number 10, Tony Kubek. Calling for James.
Kubek, batting .280, has 16 doubles, 3 triples, 8 homers, 35 runs batted in. Nobody out. Richardson at first. The stretch by Mossy. Pitch to Kubek is a curve bunted foul down the third base line. Tony trying to catch Eddie Yost by surprise. Tried to drop one down third, but hit it off the end of his bat and it kicked foul. 1 strike on Tony. Here's the stretch. Curve is fouled back off the screen, strike 2. Nothing in 2 on Kubek, pinch hitting for Johnny James. Norm Cash has moved in back of the runner at first. Fastball is over. Strike 3 called. Kubek takes the fastball right down the middle. Mossy gets his third strikeout. Brings up Cletus Boyer, who tripled in the first inning, and fly to left field in the second inning. 1 away. Left-hander Don Mossy stretches. Pitch to Boyer is high, ball 1. Again the stretch. Fastball, foul tip. Strike 1, 1-1. Ready now for the 1-1 delivery. Fastball foul out of play to the right of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. stretch by Marcy. Pitch inside. Ball almost hit Boyd. And he was falling back about 6 or 7 feet. 2-2 on Clayton. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bobby Richardson at first base. Detroit leading 7-3 here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Hitting back at second base. Fernandez up with a throw to first. In time for the out. A pretty play by Chico Fernandez, who went on the second base side of second base as he cut in back of the bag deep and fired off balance to Norm Cash for the out. A fine fielding play by Chico Fernandez. He had no chance for the fourth play on Richardson at second, who slid in. Took a base hit away from Boyd. 2 out. Here's Hector Lopez, who struck out and popped out to first. Richardson at second with 2 away. The stretch and the pitch is a strike call. The fastball just above the knees. Strike on Hector. Again the stretch. Fastball hit deep to center field. Kaline moving back, going way back, and makes the catch in deep center field. A ball hit over 400 feet. But to the furthest part of the field, the Yankees in the top of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no Detroit errors, 1 man left. The score at the end of 4.5 innings. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3.
Precisely right, precisely right. True lager flavor, precisely right. Precisely right, precisely right. Lovely golden, crystal clear, crisp refresher. Crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
Johnny Gabler is the 3rd Yankee pitcher of the night. Art Ditmar went 2 2/3 innings. Johnny James won an inning and a third, giving up 2 hits. Walked 4, struck out 2, allowed 1 run. Johnny Gabler coming on is making his 19th appearance of the year. He's won 3 and lost 3. Has a 3.89 earned run average. He'll be facing Chico Fernandez, who was called out on strikes and then doubled a left fielder driving a run in the 3rd inning. That was the big 3rd inning in which Detroit scored 6 runs. Yankees scored 3 in the top of the 1st, when Cletus Boyle led off with a triple that Rocky Colavito lost, and the Hayes serve was hit by a pitch ball, and Mantle hit a 3-run homer in the left field seats. Johnny Gabler checks the sign to Nelson Howard. The pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Gabler is 6'2", weighs only 165 pounds. He's from Overland Park, Kansas. Johnny relieved at Boston on July 10th. Pitched just 1 inning. Whitey Ford is up in the Yankee bullpen. Ground ball hit the 3rd. McDougal up with it on the big hop. Throws to Scowen, and it's 1 away. Gill was undecided that time whether to come in or stay back. He finally came in and caught the ball on the big hop. 1 away, and here's the pitcher, Don Marcy, who popped to short and walked. He was up twice in 1 inning. Matter of fact, 3 Tigers are up twice in 1 inning as they sent 12 men to the plate. Hernandez, Mossy, and Eddie Yost, all in the third inning. Gabler's pitch is line. Boy, it backhands it in the hole. To throw to first, inside for the out, and boy, was that a beautiful play. Boy was playing over by second base, and Mossy hit a hard-hit ground ball. So Boy is right through the backhand of the ball, set himself, and made a perfect throw to Scow. He made that play look easy, and actually was a difficult play. Anytime you're going to your right and then have to throw across your body from deep shortstop. 2 out. Here's Eddie Yost, who walked, homered, and fly to left field. Pitch to Yost is a curve low, ball 1. Ball is over. Strike 1, 1-1. 2 out. Nobody on. Bottom of the 5th. Hank bowling on deck. Curve over. Strike 2. Called 1 ball, 2 strikes. On curve, outside, 2-2. Old Yankee infield started to walk off the field. Eddie Yost has good time at the plate. 2-2 count on Eddie. 7-3, Detroit leads here in the bottom of the 5th. The windup, and the pitch hit foul outside the third. We're having a little trouble reading the signs from Howard. So Eddie Yost steps out. Pitch is hit slowly down the third baseline. McDougal in fast. Throws off balance to Scow, and in time to get Yost. So Gabler sets down Detroit 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Nothing across. The score at the end of 5 full innings. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3. Well, here's an interesting note. The second annual Tony Martin Hole-in-One Golf Tournament will be held this year at the Concord International Golf Course at Kiamisha Lake, New York, and that'll be on Saturday, July 23rd for the benefit of President Eisenhower's People of People Sports Committee. The chairman of the committee is Colonel Eddie Egan. They're dragging the infield here, which is something they have been doing under Bill DeWitt, the new general manager of the Detroit Tigers. And while they're dragging the infield, let's take another look at the scoreboard. Boston 2, Kansas City 1 at the end of 2.5. Baltimore 3, and the White Sox 1 at the end of 6. Cleveland shut out Washington 4-0. And the National League is the Cardinals 3, the Cubs nothing at the end of 6.5. Cincinnati defeated the Pirates 4-1. And Milwaukee defeated the Phillies 7-5, so Milwaukee has picked up 2 full games on Pittsburgh in the last 2 days. Los Angeles, San Francisco starts later on. Big Bob Serve will be leading off for the Yankees here. In the top of the 6th, Serve was hit by a pitch ball and bounced out in front of the plate. The ground crew a little slow getting off the field. They finally made it. Seven-3, Detroit leads. On deck, Mickey Mantle. The pitch to serve is outside, ball one. The 1-0 pitch is a strike call. Fastball down the middle. Whitey Ford continues to throw down in the Yankee bullpen. Whitey is scheduled to pitch over in Cleveland. 1-1 pitch is popped in the air to left center field. Maxwell and Kaline digging. Maxwell's under it and makes the catch in left center field. One away. Brings up Mickey Mantle, who homered with 2 aboard in the first inning and then popped up to third in the third inning. Yankees got 2 of their 3 hits off Mossy in the first inning. The other one in the 5th inning, a single by Richardson. Pitch to Mickey is a strike call, a fastball over the outside part of the plate. One strike pitch, changeup popped in the air to straightaway center field. Al Kaline pounding his glove under this one and makes the catch. Mossy changed up on Mickey a little bit. 2 away, brings up Bill Skowron, who struck out and flied to center. Mossy has the Yankees popping the ball up in the air. Only 2 ground balls have been hit off him. 1 by Serve and 1 by Boyer. The rest have all been fly balls. There's a strike to Skowron. Fastball is over, strike 2. Moose took 2 more fastballs. Looks like Skowron looking for the breaking stuff. 0-2, 2 out, nobody on. Pitch is a changeup hit right back to the pitcher on 1 hop. Mossy gloves it, throws the cash for the out. And the Yankees go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th. Nothing across the score at the end of 5.5 innings. Detroit 7 and the Yankees 3.
Finally golden, crystal clear, with precious. Valentine, Valentine,
For Detroit in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Frank Bowling, Charlie Maxwell, and Norm Cash. Bowling has been on base all 3 times, 2 walks and a single. He scored once. Johnny Gable out on the mound. His first pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Gabler's next pitch, curveball, line foul outside of third. Nothing in two. The count. Knuckleball hit to left field, pretty far back. Third going back, and that ball is a home run in the left field seat. Frank Bowling hit a low knuckleball, and how he ever hit a home run off it, I'll never know. Neither will Gabler. Johnny's standing out there with his hands on his hips. A low pitch, and he dropped a line drive over the left field fence. For Bowling, his 6th home of the year and his 31st run batted in, and Detroit now leads 8-1, 8-3. Tigers 8 and the Yankees 3. Here's Charlie Maxwell, who applied to center, single to right, and struck out. Pitch to Maxwell is a knuckleball inside, ball one. Been 4 home runs in the game. The Tigers have 3 of them. Yost, Colavito, and Bowling. And for the Yankees, Mantle has 1. Fastball fouled off home plate over towards the Yankee dugout. 1-1 the count. Here's a windout by Gabler. Curve is over. Strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maxwell steps out of the box. Gabler taking a little too long out on the mound. One ball, 2 strike pitch. Curve hit on the ground at second. Richardson to Skowron for the out. Here's Norm Cash, who twice bounced to second base in a single to right field. He's driven in 2 runs. On deck, Al Kaline. 1 out, 1 run in, 8-3. Detroit leads. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Center field. Mantle moving way back in center field and makes the catch, backing up in deep center field. Cash really laid the wood to that one. 2 out. Here's Al Kaline. Kaline bounced to short, walked and struck out. He scored 1 run. Deck, Rocky Colavito. Pitch to Kaline, a ground ball to short. Boyer is up with it. Fires across to Skowron for the out. And for Detroit in the bottom of the 6th, 1 run on 1 hit, the homer by Frank Bowling. No Yankee errors, nobody left to score at the end of the 6th full inning. Detroit has 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The Yankees 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. On the scoreboard, Boston 2, Kansas City 1 at the end of 3 1/2. Baltimore 3, the White Sox 1 at the end of 7. Cleveland shut out Washington 4-0 in the National League. St. Louis 3, the Cubs nothing at the end of 7. Cincinnati defeated the Pirates 4-1. Milwaukee over the Phillies 7-5. And Los Angeles at San Francisco has not started. Remember, the Detroit Tigers will be at Yankee Stadium on Monday night, August the 2nd, on Tuesday night the 3rd, and for an unprecedented third straight night on Wednesday, August the 3rd. Tuesday night game has been added to the schedule to make up a previously postponed night contest. And excellent seats are available, so this would make an ideal night for your organization or club. Good seats in a group can be arranged for your group by the Yankee ticket department. And in addition to the 3 night games, a regularly scheduled afternoon game with the Tigers will be played on Tuesday, August the 2nd. And right now, Mel Allen will be coming over to the radio side right after we pause for station identification.
1460 on the radio dial. This is Quality Modern WOKO, serving you with the best of everything. 7 minutes after 11.
Hello there, everybody. Elston Howard, leading off in the 7th inning, takes a strike. Howard lined to center and popped out to short. Don Mossy doing the pitching for the Tigers, and brilliantly since the first inning. The left-hander's delivery, right over, strike 2, 0-2. Ryan Duran warming up for New York. 8-3 Detroit in the 7th inning. Mossy's pitch swung on. There's a fly ball in the center. Kaline is under it and makes the catch. One away. 7 in a row retired by Mossy. In fact, there have been just 2 Yankee base runners since the first inning. Ditmar, who walked in the 2nd, and Richardson, who singled to center in the 5th. Gil McDougall at bat. Don Mossy into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and popped up into the air toward first. Norm Cash under it and makes the catch just behind the bag in fair territory. Up comes Bobby Richardson, who popped out to second and singled to center. Mossy gets the sign. Into the windup, and the pitch to Bobby is bunted and foul. Strike 1. That's a play that developed there. Ball bounced up and hit Richardson, but he was in foul ground and it hit him. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch to Richardson is swung on, lined into center for a base hit. Kaline takes it on the second hop, throws into Fernandez, and Bobby has his second straight single to center. And 2, the Yankees' total of 5 hits. We'll have a pinch hitter for Johnny Gabler. Yogi Berra coming out to bat for Gabler. Berra batting .291. Steps in now. Don Mossy getting the sign from Berberette. Richardson with the lead. And the pitch. Low, ball 1.
strikes. And the pitch to Berra is outside the ball 2-0. Tigers 8, Yankees 3. It's the 7th inning. Bossy into the stretch. Richardson leads away from first. Here's the pitch. Swung on to fly ball into right field. Colavito under it, makes the catch, and the sides retire. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, the score remains Detroit 8, New York 3. I hope that you're enjoying the ball game, and I hope that you're enjoying some Ballantine beer right along with it. Ballantine beer has all the things it takes to make a great beer. You know, lightness is fine, but lightness alone just won't turn it. To really refresh, a beer must have lightness plus flavor, and that's your cue to ask the man for the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. You see, Ballantine proves to more people every day that a beer can be light and still give you all the lager beer flavor you want. The fact of the matter is, Ballantine's the light beer with true lager flavor. This delicious light lager flavor is what makes Ballantine beer the crisp refresher. So if you drink beer for taste and refreshment, then Ballantine's the beer for you. Try it and see for yourself why Ballantine's the most popular beer from Maine to Florida, the largest selling beer in the East. Ryan Duran has come in to pitch for New York. Gabler worked 2 innings. They're up 1 hit. It was a home run by Bowling. No walks, no strikeouts, 1 run allowed. Ryan Duran, coming on for the 20th time this year, has a record of 2-3. Rocky Colavito will be first up in the last of the 7th. Berberette to follow, and then Chico Fernandez. Eight to 3 Detroit, last of the 7th. Colavito walked, hit a 3-run homer, and walked. Ryan Duran set to work. Ryan gets the sign, swings into the windup. Around comes the right arm, the pitch in there, strike 1. Balls, 1 strike. Duran delivers. Colavito takes low. Ball 1, 1-1. Outfield around to the left. Very rocky to pull, of course. The 1-1 delivery on its way to Colavito. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 1-2. A 1-2 count. Eight to 3, Detroit, last of the 7th. Duran into the windup. Here's the pitch. Change up is swung on and lined out to left. Serve goes over and grabs it near the line. Colavito lines out to Bob Serve. Here's Lou Berberette. Grounded to first into a double play, walked, and grounded out to second. You're into the windup, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Gave him the big motion, pulled the string on him. Sort of lobbed it up there. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there. Strike one, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery to Berberette. It's low, ball 2, 2-1. Jim Bunning will pitch for the Tigers tomorrow, and Bob Curley for New York. Bob Curley's no longer the Yankees team representative. Bobby Richardson has replaced him. Here's the 2-1 delivery. In there, strike two. Bob felt that he had held the post long enough and relinquished it, and the Yankees voted Richardson the honor. Two balls, two strikes. Ryan Duran ready. Delivers. The pitch is swung on, tapped to the mound. Duran takes it, underhands it to Skowron. And they're two away. Now Chico Fernandez took a third strike, doubled to left, and grounded to third. 1 for 3. To 3 in favor of Detroit. 7th inning. Duke Mars warming up. Duran into the windup. The pitch to Fernandez. Swung on, foul back, strike one. Here's the delivery. Outside. 1-1. Baltimore leading the White Sox 3-2. They go to the 9th inning. White Sox at Yankee Stadium next Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and a doubleheader on the 24th, Sunday. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fly ball into right field. Hector Lopez moving in, shallow, makes the catch, and the side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 7 innings, Detroit 8 runs, 7 hits and no errors. The Yankees 3 runs, 4 hits and no errors. Hope you got some Ballantine beer handy. The light beer with true lager flavor. The crisp refresher. Treat your thirst to some ice cold Ballantine beer. Yankees with a losing streak of 3 on the verge of losing their 4th, which would be their high for the season. Dave Sisler gets up to loosen up in the Tiger bullpen. After the White Sox come into the stadium, next Friday night, the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, a Ladies' Day, Sunday doubleheader the 24th. The Cleveland Indians come in. A night game Tuesday night the 26th, a doubleheader Wednesday afternoon the 27th, and a make-up night game on next Thursday, the following Thursday, that is, 2 weeks from last night, the 28th. Boston leading Kansas City 2-1 in the 4.5 innings, and it's Baltimore 3, White Sox 2. They play the ninth. Cleveland shut out Washington 4-0. In the National League, Cards lead the Cubs 3-0 into 7.5. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh 4-1. Milwaukee took Philadelphia 7-5. Los Angeles and San Francisco will have Drysdale going against Jones. Now to the first of the 8th inning in Detroit, 8-3 in favor of the Tigers. The Braves have moved within 3 games now of first place, at the first place Pirates. Clete Boyer at bat, 1 for 3. The pitch swung on a chop that goes foul down the third baseline for a strike. Boyer got a triple when his fly ball in the first inning dropped behind Colavito, who lost it in the glare of the lights. Boyer fouled to Maxwell and left and grounded to short. Here's the pitch to Boyer. Swung on. It's a high fly ball along the right field line. Colavito moves over under it and makes the catch. One away. Hector Lopez struck out, fouled out to first, and flied to center. Mossie's delivery. Flicked out, high and inside, ball 1. That almost shaved him. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped straight up in front of the plate. Here comes Yost in. He makes the catch in fair territory within about 15 feet of home plate. 2 down. Mossie's had him popping up tonight. There have only been 3 balls that have been hit on the ground to the infield. Bob Serve hit by a pitch ball, tapped out in front of the plate, fly to left, takes high for a ball. Serve bounced in front of the plate. Boyer grounded to short, and Skowron hit to the box. Here's the delivery to Bob. Swung on, ground ball hit to second. Bowling up with it, throws to Cash, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no error, and no one left on. At the end of 7.5 innings, Detroit 8, New York 3. Whenever you're in the mood for some cooling refreshment, try Frosty Cool Ballantine beer, the crisp refresher. It's good, I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why. In order to refresh you, really refresh you, a beer must deliver lightness plus flavor. Ballantine beer does just that. The light beer with true lager flavor. It proves the beer can be truly light and still give you all the honest to goodness lager beer flavor you want. That's why Ballantine beer is the crisp refresher. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a foam-topped glass full of the crisp refresher. Ballantine beer. Duke Moss comes on the pitch in the last of the 8th as Don Mossie comes up to bat. Duran worked an inning and got 3 men out in a row. And Duke Moss comes on to work the 8th. 5th Yankee pitcher. Art Ditmar is the pitcher of record. having worked the first 2 2/3 innings, giving up 4 hits and 6 runs. The Tigers' new pitcher, who came on from Denver, Regan, is warming up. Paul Poitak is on the disabled list. Duke Moss, making his 14th appearance, has a record of 1-1. Regan's first name is Phil, but no relation to the singer of the same name. Don Mossy popped to short, walked, and grounded to short. Leading 8-3. Last of the 8th. Duke Moss delivers outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's Moss' pitch, and it swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside for ball 2, 2-1. The next pitch, swung on, bounced to short. Taking on a big hop by Boyer, throw to first in time. One away. The paid attendance tonight is 45,714. 45,714. They figure to draw about 125,000 this weekend. Eddie Ostap walked, homered, flied to left, grounded to third. Moss into the windup. The pitch inside, ball 1. If the Tigers win this one, they will have won their 600th game against New York. One ball, no strikes. Moss pitches in there, strike 1, 1-1. The Yankees have won 655 games from Detroit. That's how close the rivalry has been through the years. The 1-1 delivery, low outside, ball 2, 2-1. For some reason, I keep sitting here feeling as if I want to make a political address. This is one going on about now. The 2-1 pitch. Accidentally swung on, grounded to Scour, and he slips to Moss covering first. Yost is checking the swing. The ball hit the bat and rolled to the right of the mound. Scour came off to get it, and Moss went over to cover. Here's Frank Bowling, who walked, single to left center, walked, and homered. The Tigers have received 8 walks, 4 from Ditmar, 4 from James. Here's the delivery. Low and inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit to third, a line drive. McDougal grabs it. Sides retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left off. End of 8 innings. Tigers 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Yankees 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Detroit is stranded 6, the Yankees 3. On the Ballantyne scoreboard in the American League, before we go to the 9th inning here, Boston 2, Kansas City 1 under 5 innings, Monbouquet and Daly. Baltimore scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th after Roy Sievers had homered in the last of the 8th to pull the White Sox to within 1 run. The Orioles lead 5-2, 10 to 8.5. Pappas for Baltimore. Pierce relieved by Lau in the 8th. Brandt and Robinson homered for Baltimore. Sievers for Chicago. Cleveland shut out Washington 4-0. Perry beat Ramos. In the National League, St. Louis shut out Chicago 6-0 as Bolio pitched a 1-hitter. Cardwell the loser. Sawatsky homered in the 2nd. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh 4-1. O'Toole beat Friend. Milwaukee defeated Philadelphia 7-5. Spahn bested short. Adcock hit a grand slammer. Herrera hit 2 homers, one with 2 on. Los Angeles and San Francisco about to begin with Drysdale and Jones the pitchers. We pause for station identification.
1460 on the radio dial. This is Quality Modern, WOKO.
In the first half of the 9th inning, Tigers leading 8-3. Mickey Mantle first up. Scarron on deck and Howard to follow. Mantle hit a 3-run homer in the first inning, and that's been it for New York. Mickey fouled out to third and flied to center. Don Mossey's pitch. Ball 1 outside. In comes the next delivery. In there, strike 1, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Mossey to the windup. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on its way. Mantle takes it outside for ball 3, 3-1. Baltimore defeated Chicago 5-2. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Mantle. Swung on and fouled back, strike 2, full count. Taking his time now. Put us back up on the hill. Dave Sisler loosening up. Dave Sisler, Pete. Here's the pitch, and it's ball 4, a little inside. That's the second walk Mossey has issued. Jimmy Dykes says something to Paparella. Now here's Bill Scarron, struck out, flying to center, and hit to the box. Dykes said, how much inside was it? Paparella held his 2 index fingers close to one another. Mossey to the stretch, and they pitch to Scarron. Swung on, lined into center for a base hit. Mantle round second, heads for third. Kaline's throw comes into bowling, and there are runners on first and third. Scarron had struck out, fly to center, and hit the box previously. Elston Howard lined to center, popped out to short, and flied to center. Cash wants to find out how to play, either on the bag or behind Skowron, and Dykes has played back of him. Mossy to the stretch. Here's the pitch to Howard. Swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, out of play. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Runners lead away from first and third. Mossy delivers, and Howard takes high for a ball. Tigers 8, Yankees 3, ninth inning. Mossy delivers to Howard, who swings and sends a drive to deep center. Kaline gets way back out there and makes the catch short of the 440-foot mark. Mantle scores easily, and Skowron hastens back to first. Elston Howard is out on about a 435-foot drive. Kaline caught the ball in dead center, about 5 feet away from the fence. A long out. And it is 8-4. The run batted in for Howard. Boy, he really tied into that one. But too much straight away. Gil McDougall lined to right, popped to second, and popped out to first. Mossy into the stretch. Skowron leads off first. Here's the pitch. High, ball one. Again to the stretch. Here's the pitch, and McDougall takes a strike. 1-1. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. It's high, 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Mossy into the stretch. Here's the pitch, and McDougall swings and misses. Strike two, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one on, one out, one in. Ninth inning, 8-4, Detroit. Mossy delivers, and McDougall swings and misses. Strike three. Two away. Four strikeouts for Mossy. And the batter now is Bobby Richardson, who popped out to second and singled to center twice. Here's the pitch to Bobby. Swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, and the ball's out of play. Roger Maris is on deck to hit for Moss if Richardson should get aboard. Mossy delivers to Bobby. Low for a ball, 1-1. One ball, one strike, two down. Here's the pitch to Bobby. Swings on it, grounds it to second. Bowling lets it get through him, and all hands are safe. Bowling is charged with an error on Richardson's grounder. then Roger Maris comes up to bat for Moss. Raj has a sore right wrist, and so sat the game out tonight until now.
Roger Maris, batting for Moss.
2 on and 2 out in the 9th inning. Tigers 8, Yankees 4. That was the first error of the ball game. Don Mossy pitches to Maris, swings and lines it foul into the Yankee bullpen. Strike 1. Maris hitting .320. Tigers, who have won 3 games from the Yankees this year, won them all here. The Yankees have won 7 of the 10 played. 2 away, 2 on. Here's the pitch to Maris. Swung on to a fly ball along the left field line. Maxwell chasing it. The ball is going foul out of play. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on in the 9th inning. 8-4 Detroit. Maris batting for Moss. Don Mossy, who's won 4 out of his last 5 games, into the stretch. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for call, strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Tigers win it, 8-4. 1 run for New York, 1 hit, 1 Tiger error, 2 Yankees left on, and the Tigers win it 8-4 with Don Mossy chalking up the win. Mossy winning his 8th game. He's lost 6, 3-2 against New York this year, 13-10 lifetime. Moss's 59th Major League win. He's lost 42. Art Ditmar, the losing pitcher, has a record of 7-6. He's lost his last 3 decisions. 3-1 against the Tigers this year, 62 and 64 lifetime, and in the major leagues, 10-6 lifetime against Detroit.
Well, that winds up another Valentine baseball broadcast. And now this is Bob Delaney saying that's all for now from the Atlantic Refining Company and your friendly Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial gasoline to keep your car on the go. And P. Ballantyne & Sons, brewers of the crisp refresher, Ballantyne Beer, the largest selling beer in the East. This is the home of Champions Network.